Hi Emily.
Hi Katrina, welcome to my studio space at Ulster University. I would like to invite you on in to come on.
What is the first thing you do when you come into your studio space?
Truthfully, I usually take a minute to sit down and literally just breathe, because obviously with the restrictions in place sometimes I can't get the elevator up, so I have to walk up the stairs, and if I'm carrying everything, sometimes it's just nice to sit down and just take a minute to breathe, especially as well it lets me digest what I've got up in the walls and look what I've been working at, maybe that I've left for the past few days. It sort of gives me fresh eyes on a lot of things as well. I also like going into the other studio space to see who else is in, because during the times we're at, not a lot of people are in, so it's quite nice to see some friendly faces.
What are the tools that you like to use to make your work?
Mainly my work would consist of sort of photography and video, but I've been spending a lot of time, I've sort of created my own dark room in my house just because of obviously it's limited time to use in the university, so I've been spending a lot of time creating sort of prints, and I've went back from using digital to film, so I'm very much involved with film photography at the minute, as well as my video work. I'm trying not to edit it too much. I'm trying not to make the work look too digitized, so I'm trying to use more of my hands and stuff within the work, and I use a lot of writing as well, so I've been trying new ways to find to get my writing across as well.
Why did you want to do the MFA course?
I wanted to incorporate more fine art into my work. I also wanted to experiment more, not just using photography and video, which obviously is sort of what I use anyway, but find different ways to work with photography and video that maybe I felt was a bit more limited, or I didn't experiment with more in my undergrad. As well, the main thing for me was I've never had a studio before, so for me a big part was getting into a studio and being able to experiment within it and see what possibilities I could take on.
When are you most productive?
For me, I'm definitely most productive at night time, which doesn't really go very well with the university opening hours at the minute. I don't know what it is, sometimes I'll spend the whole day gathering my thoughts, and then at night time I'm able to just go ahead and just produce whatever it is. Also, a lot of my work photography wise is at night and the video is at night. Develop the films and stuff at night time whenever it is dark, so I've got the maximum opacity in my house. So really for me it is definitely nighttime that I'm most productive.
Who would you say is your work made for?
Personally for me, I think my work's made for myself. I sort of see it more as a diary of how I'm maybe feeling in a particular day. So what I produce sort of depends on how I've been feeling in that moment. But also, not only is it just for myself, I like to open up my work to other people to see, show them how I've been feeling. So mainly I would say it is for myself, but obviously letting other people see the work is a big part, see their reactions and everything. But yeah, it'd definitely be for myself. I find it like a bit of therapy, to be honest.
What have you learned while being on the MFA course?
The main thing I would sort of say that I've learned on the MFA course is definitely to take a step back from nearly what you've known. Like, I came into this course thinking, oh, I want to produce this type of work this way, but I really in first year decided to take that all back, and I really went into a new way of working that I never thought that I would have. So I mean, from the MFA course really, I think it's just about being open, because if you're not 100% open, then how will you produce the work that might turn into something amazing? So I really do think it is just about being as open as possible, and learning from the crits as well. Maybe if you don't have a great crit, thinking that that's a negative thing, I would try to turn that into a positive as much as I can, to show like, okay, well maybe that didn't work, at least I know now what I need to do to make the to produce better work or whatever. So really just be open about the whole thing, I think, is probably the main thing I've learned from the MFA.
What does your studio mean to you?
I think over the first lockdown, whenever COVID sort of hit, it made me realise how much my studio meant to me. Like, not being able to go in and produce the work, I really do find it is a place that I can go in and get all my thoughts down, especially because I am in the landscape quite a lot working with it. It is quite nice to just sort of come to one place just to sort of collectively think about what I've been doing and just take a second to do a bit of research, you know, whatever I feel like I need to do for the work. It is nice to have this one place. It's nearly like a sanctuary.
What has remained constant in your work despite the pandemic?
I think the thing that has sort of stayed constant throughout my work from the pandemic has definitely been the writing side of things. I sort of over the lockdown, the first one in March, I went out and took a lot of photos, I think like a lot of people did during their walks, but I actually didn't develop those photos because I was worried in case it would take me back to a time that I didn't really want to think about. But with my writing, it's allowed me to sort of think about how I was feeling that day, and I'm a lot more open to looking back at my writing, and especially now within my work, my writing is so important to me. So definitely my writing has been something that I didn't think would be a constant theme throughout my work, but definitely now that I've sort of started it from first year, I find it hard to nearly create work without jotting down at least some type of words about it that I feel like go alongside my images quite a lot, or my videos.
Would you have any advice for art students in general, or people particularly interested in doing an MFA course?
I would definitely say 100% would recommend it. If you're thinking about doing the MFA, I 100% think it is the best thing to try and develop your own work. Try and think about your practice a little more, maybe in ways that you never thought about it before. And as well, it's a great way to get to meet new people to do with art. Like I know in the undergrad maybe you're only restricted to your course, but in here you meet such a wide variety of people and different backgrounds, and it is just amazing to hear where different people have come from within their own practice and themselves. So I definitely would say for any art students who want to maybe do the MFA, just do it. Take every opportunity I think you get, just go for it.